Hello, I'm Elaine Smith, the Artistic Director of the Clamour Theater Company. We're holding these creative conversations with playwrights, with actors, with directors, so that you can find out more about Clamour Theater and about the artists who work with us.
Welcome to this edition of a Clamour Creative Conversation. Today we're talking with Ryan Stevens, whose play Modern Blood is going to be read on October 23rd as part of our Zoom reading series. Welcome, Ryan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Good. It's great to have you here. So please tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself. Can be your bio, your background, any interesting facts you'd like us to know, anything.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ryan Stevens. I use he, they pronouns. I'm from South Carolina originally. I'm currently mostly based in Chicago. I got my MA in theater from University of South Carolina and my MFA in playwriting from UCLA. And that's all the boring biographical stuff. I'm trying to see if there's anything fun to throw in there just for a little bit of flavor. I grew up on a farm, so if any of your viewers have any questions about farm life or livestock, I would be happy to weigh in.
That's great. Okay. I spent summers on a farm, so
Great.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Modern Blood without giving away any spoilers. What can you tell us about that?
So Modern Blood is an adaptation of the vampire novella Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, which actually predates Dracula by a few years. It is also a queer story about two women, about a lesbian vampire, which is really interesting to think that predates the vampire we know in pop culture of Dracula. It's a story about Laura, who is this sort of character who sort of reached the end of her rope and had to move back home, and the mysterious woman she meets at a bar and the vampire related places that their relationship goes as they grow closer. I think that's as good of an elevator pitch as I'm going to be able to give.
That's a good one. Do you have a favorite play of your own?
A favorite play of my own? I think I do. It was the last script I worked on at UCLA. It's a sort of Brechtian play with music called The Last Living Gun. It's 3 hours long. It has a cast of 10, so it's very difficult to produce. It was my one, I think I'm going to write a big one. I think I'm going to write a really unwieldy one that's hard to produce. But it's basically I wanted to write a Western where there weren't any guns. And I thought, well, how would that happen? I was like, well, if there's no metal. So it's like a post-apocalyptic American Western where there's one gun left in the whole world, and this silent Clint Eastwood type character has to go journey out and find it. And it's my favorite of mine. It's the most me play, but it's also, because of that, it's very it's got a lot of extraneous pieces. Okay. Modern Blood is a much more manageable play.
Yeah. So has it been produced at all, or is it still waiting in the wings?
It had a workshop production at UCLA, but in terms of professional production, we're still waiting for the magic moment. I think a show like that needs to wait for some restrictions to lighten up a little bit. That's a lot of people.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah,
no rush.
That is a lot of people. And so, okay. So now one of my favorite questions are, what are 3 favorite plays, whether you've seen them or read them by other playwrights, and what do you like about them?
All right, great. So this is going to be, an hour or so. I have much to say about other people's plays. I think my favorite play off the top of my head, and it's been in this position for a couple of years, there's a play by Anne Washburn called Mr. Burns, a post-electric play, which is also about this sort of post-fall of America group of survivors are sitting around a campfire trying to remember the plot of an episode of The Simpsons. And that's Act 1. Act 2 is several years later, and they're putting on a traveling show version of old cartoons. And Act 3 is 75 years after that, and it's a full Gilbert and Sullivan musical of how warped this memory of a Simpsons episode has become a new sort of religious text. It's another play with music, and it's another 3-hour play that I think is like dripping with ambition and full of these cool ideas about like pop culture and American exceptionalism and how that sort of curdles things over time. That's a great play. I've read that, and I've been able to see a few productions of it, and I think that's a real modern classic. So I recommend that one a lot. Another one that I think about a lot is Neighborhood 3, Requisition on Doom by Jennifer Haley. That's sort of like a horror play, which you don't see a lot of, which something like live theater doesn't do a ton of for some reason. It's sort of an ensemble play about this whole neighborhood, as the title would suggest, and this video game that the kids are playing where they fight zombies within a copy of their neighborhood, and it becomes this clear divide between parents and kids and the generational breakdown that occurs over time and the ways that sort of turns people against their own family. It's also, that's a heavy pitch, but it's also a very funny, very like slick, stylish play. It's a dream project of mine to like work on something like that. And then another play that I really enjoy, this is also sort of a modern Western, Is Guide Is by Alicia Harris, which is this story of like these two twins who were abandoned by their father, and they've been given a quest by their dying mom to go track him down and kill him. So it's this like really bloody revenge story road trip that they're on. I've only ever read that one. I've also only ever read Neighborhood 3. It's a shame. They should be produced more so I could go see them. And those 3 plays I think about a lot. Those are my 3 current favorites. You ask me tomorrow, I'll have 3 different answers.
Sure,
for now,
absolutely. Yeah, no, but that's great. I'll add them to my list.
Great, yeah.
So for our viewers, if you would like to read plays by Ryan, you can look for them on the New Play Exchange website at newplayexchange.org. If you would like to attend the free reading on Zoom of Ryan's play Modern Blood on October 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, you can make a reservation on Clamour's website, which is also the place to go for information on our other events, and that is clamourtheater.org. You can find us on Facebook as Clamour Theater Company. We will post all of those URLs in the description below. And if you would like to see more interviews like this one, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today and for letting our audience get to know something about you. We're really looking forward to the reading, and we're very glad you've been able to join the Clamour crowd.
Thank you so much. It's great to be a part of the team. I'm so excited for the reading.